What is going on, Dumb Nation? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. I got challenged to a fight today. I've been challenged to a fight. I don't know. It's probably been 10 years. Maybe.
Who did that?
Oh, a guy on social media. He was a kung fu guy, and he basically looked. Say again.
Wushu.
I don't know what that means, but he said he was a kung fu guy, and I went and looked at his profile, and he basically looked like the best way to describe it is just like a marshmallow. So I just said to him the nicest way I knew how. I just said, you're supposed to emulate the karate, not Buddha. And he didn't like it, and he came back and said, what do you want about, dude? What are you trying to say? And I said, listen, Kung Fu Panda Express, you need to just chill out before you blow an artery. And he came back and said some other mean stuff. And I said, okay, listen, I know you're a U.S. Navy Gravy SEAL, and you're a part of MEAL Team 6, but you might be worried about the flight going at that altitude and then coming back down to Virginia to try to fight me, and then walking up my driveway could be detrimental to your health. So he's like, well, I want to fight you. I'll fight you on your podcast. And I said, well, that's going to be interesting because, yeah. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to buy a ticket. I need you to go ahead and get your cardio up. And then if you're serious, we can fight. But before those things, I need to see that. And he didn't take me up on it. He blocks me. Sad. See you guys in 3 minutes. We'll be back. Please share it out. We need a good night tonight. Please, for the love of mercy, God. You know, we're just going to go back into the pre-show because I didn't get a chance to say anything. Alan Donovan was on the 15th. Ryan Samuels was on the 17th. Lisa Regina was on last night. Holy Lord. It's been busy. What a great show last night with Lisa Regina. If you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Then next Wednesday, we have Blackbird Anthem with Adam and Rick, a veteran-based band out of Georgia. We're hoping to get them up there. We're still working on the concert. I don't know if we have good feeling. It's looking like, listen, financially, I just don't know if we can pull it off. Just not going to lie. Leeroy, I don't know if you heard, but with Ryan Samuels or not Ryan Samuels, but Alan Donovan was in-house, and we know that he has cancer. Well, I decided to double our donations. And I told the dummies, I said, hey, we'll double everything you got. Well, I wrote a check for $6,500 plus to my accountant, $2,000 in taxes. I got a little ahead of my skis. I didn't expect the dummies to come through as hard as they did. They did. And unfortunately, it's been a rough couple nights. So we've got tonight we have to turn the corner. If we can't, we're not gonna be able to put on the concert. We can't do it.
Let's have a fun night. The dummies generally like it when we laugh and make fun of the left. So we can start there and let's just see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna find out real quick. So needless to say, tonight's the night. We need to have a good night. The last couple nights have not been the best, so let's go after it. And we'll have a good show, packed full tonight, and we'll be right back. Like I said, if you haven't watched the Lisa Regina episode, go do that. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Be back. Hey, if you guys haven't had the chance, please go over to Twitter and share. Also, we are on TikTok, tiktok.com/thedumbshow.com. And it's actually doing really well. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous how strong TikTok is doing for us. And then next, you can go to facebook.com/thedumbshow, Matt, personal Facebook page. We would appreciate it if you go over there and sign up. I'll put the links in, and you can take a look and make sure to give us a follow. Thanks.
Howdy, y'all. This is Damani Felder. These are perilous times in American history, and now more than ever, we need individuals who are willing to wage war on the ideological battlefield with like-minded individuals. And I can think of no better place to start than my friends at the Don't Unfriend Me show. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Alfonso, it's good to hear you recovering from COVID. I hope you're doing better. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Leeroy, how the hell are you, buddy?
Welcome to the show, Matt. I am doing wonderful. It's been an interesting couple of days / weeks.
Yeah, anything super relevant?
Well, not super relevant, just super interesting. It's the beginning of Chief season, which means that those who got picked up are currently going through their rigmarole, and so I had to drive up and have a little fun with the new guys.
That's great. Are you going to be out of pocket for a while?
No.
Not this year?
Not like that. Yeah. No, I'm good.
All right. Well, good. You can throw stuff at them from afar. Folks, right. Good to have everybody here. Hope everyone's doing well. Just want to do a couple housekeeping things for you really quick. Is last to donate is something that we have, which has the person who donated last night. Goal tonight is $300. I asked Olivia to put it back down. We're having a struggle hitting it. So increasing it isn't going to help. So it's Shelly Morgenstein was not the last person. CJ Jenkins actually came in last night and helped us out with a big $100 donation. Wanted to say thank you for her and helping us out. So we're hoping to have a good night tonight. We should have quite a few people on. So there's some good news. There's good news, and then there's more good news, and then some more good news. I can't really move it. Oh, here, let's see if I can just do this. So 245,660, and I will tell you that's over 1,500 from almost last night. So we have quite a few things going viral. We're trying out some new mechanics on Facebook, but not only on Facebook, but it's happening all over all of our platforms. And with some great advice from Damani on how we display our videos and what format and size we use, it has had an incredible impact on our traffic. It's resonating on TikTok. It's resonating on Instagram. It's resonating on YouTube. YouTube, we've had like 10 videos go over 1,000 views, which most of our videos get 20 views. We had one of them up in the 2,500s. We had over on TikTok, we had one hit 22,000. Twitter is actually getting like 14, 15 interactions per post. When usually it's one or two.
Oh,
from
hell yeah.
Most loyal fans. So everything's starting to click, and we're starting to grow across all channels, and a lot of it is us and our ignorance on what to do. So we're really excited. If you've not had a chance, please go over to TikTok and let's start following us over there. That channel seems to just be humming them right along. We're talking a total 700,000-800,000 on our videos, which is great. I want to show you one video real quick, and this is kind of going to start off our conversation tonight. So if you have a chance, please. Leeroy needs a Dumb Show microphone cover. No, Leeroy needs to do what I asked him and get his situation ready, because I've got a camera, a soundboard, a microphone, a mic arm, and about 40 other things for him. And I've asked him a million times. So that's not on me. That's going to be on Leeroy. Leeroy, bad boy.
Bad Leeroy. Bad Leeroy Brown. Yes.
He's trying. He's trying to get his space. And he's got a kid and he's got a family. So we will get him there. We will get him there. Everything that Leeroy has, we've purchased from the show, and we will continue to do that and provide for all of it. We just need to get some space, and then he's got a $10,000 setup just waiting for him from old equipment that I have that he can now use. So we're excited. Anyway, I want to give you an update on this. Last night, late on the show, I got a heads up. And I can't go into specific details of where it came from. I can tell you which agency did give it to us. And I wanted to share some and it's with you. You guys, sorry, I'm new to TikTok. The agency, donation, Bobby Richardson, $51.99. Love to y'all. Thank you, Bobby, for getting us started.
Thank you, Bobby.
We need it. Thank you, ma'am. You're the best. So give you guys just a quick update here. This comes from the U.S. Marshal's Office. And then I've got another follow-up update that I'm going to give you that is not out yet. And it's not going to drop until 8:30 tonight. I'm going to give you a sneak peek on this. Here is the video. Give this a watch. And like I said, this is still not even in mass media. And this video is up to 89,000 views in less than, 16 hours. That 90,000 views is incredible. And it's going to continue to go up. Kat Alkire, $51.99. Thank you, Kat. This is what I'm talking about. We need a good night tonight. Thank you all. Here is the video. Give this a watch. It's really interesting information. And I wanted to share some news with you. You guys know this guy right here in this photograph. He was the illegal who was in Florida, who did the illegal U-turn across the divide at an emergency turnaround spot. And when he did with his semi-truck, wasn't able to make the complete turn and essentially cut off the roadway, and a vehicle, what looked to be a minivan, was going 65 miles an hour, whatever the speed limit was, and had 150, 200 feet maybe to stop the vehicle. And the reaction time was almost instantaneous that they would have had to have stopped. The turn was extremely quick, and they went right under the trailer of the semi, killing 3 people. This person here had some other traffic incidents. He had his CDL that was obtained in California. He is an illegal. He's not an immigrant. He's an illegal alien in our country. The information that I received, which is very, very interesting, I'm going to read it here and paraphrase, is from a person who is in the U.S. Marshals. That's all I can say. It's a source that I cannot disclose. The news is not reporting this, but Florida Highway Patrol let him go, and he immediately headed back to California. The U.S. Marshals were called to catch and apprehend him, and the Border Patrol was looking, but they were at the wrong house when they were trying to find him. He was caught with $10,000 in his pocket, and he was trying to leave the country. $10,000 cash, was trying to leave the country, and the U.S. Marshals found him in 4 hours. I can share that information with you. It's not being reported anywhere. You'll hear it here first. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe, and get this out for more stuff like this. Thanks for watching The Dumb Show. We'll see you tomorrow. So Dodie just asked, hey, is that confirmed? Yeah, I wouldn't be reporting it if it's from a U.S. Marshal.
Right.
It's one of the arresting officers. So yeah, I consider that to be a pretty airtight source. And I appreciate you asking. You're not the only one to ask. And I can also tell you that this person is deeply involved with personal security at Mar-a-Lago, as U.S. Marshals are assisting in security after the Butler shooting. And also the attempt at Trump's golf course in Florida. Melanie Marino, 2110.
Melanie Marino.
Go ahead, buddy.
$21.10 from Melanie Marino says, hope this gets you through. The weather is so bad. Well, Melanie, I hope wherever you're at that the weather is improving. I didn't hear that there was anything any storms on the horizon, but you could
big
be
hurricane
in the country
going in the Carolinas. Big hurricane coming up in the Carolinas.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's big enough. So guys, you will hear this thing going off, and this is what viral looks like. This thing has probably went off, I don't know, 1,500 times today, and it'll just constantly tick, 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 and people are joining like crazy. And this is the best news we can have, because what we found out is that Facebook, with all the 200,000 we got, just to be completely transparent with you, with the throttling they did, those 200,000 people have no idea we exist anymore. Our audience is about 42,000. And that's still an amazing audience. And it's a very engaged audience, as you can see. But those 200,000 will never come back until we go viral. And they go, oh my God, that's the Don't Unfriend Me show. And that's what we're hearing more and more.
I used to follow them.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Still here.
I've heard this 100 times today, where people are just like, oh my God, I haven't seen your stuff in my feed for so long. So Maddie Howen, it's 2625. Thank you, Maddie. We appreciate you. Who's next? Well, everyone seems to be helping. Here's the thing I want to give you now that's not going to be releasing until 8:30. This is an update which we'll have be posting at 8:30 tonight. And what we're doing is scheduling our updates. So like I've got everything loaded for tonight and in the morning. And we're posting like 10, 12 times a day. We're really starting to give content like crazy. So keep sharing, keep checking back. The illegal trucker, the system failed. We understood that. They're like, hey, why did he get a CDL? California driver's license. He also had a Washington driver's license as well, commercial driver's license from California and Tacoma, Washington. And during the FMCSA interview with the driver, investigators administered an English language proficiency assessment in accordance with the FMCSA guidance. The driver failed the assessment, providing correct responses for just 2 of 12 verbal questions and only accurately identifying 1 of 4 highway traffic signs. This piece of information is
wow.
Is pretty massive, and the document is included. This will be going live at 8:30, so you guys can take a look and share it and get it out there. But we're continuing to cover this because, you know, we've got an inside track with the information. So we're getting it before other people. So you guys, please share this and get this out there. But that's a pretty big thing. Your thoughts on this? You had a chance to see it, Leeroy. What are your thoughts?
So if he failed 2 of 12 verbal, kind of tests, right? And he was reported that he got his CDL through the state of California. That really does call into question, like, what is the standard for which they're applying in California that makes you wonder, all right, can anybody just get their CDL in California? Because this dude couldn't even speak English.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that he was illegal and driving around in portions of the country that, California can have their own set of laws, right? But then to take that national, like, we didn't want that. That's California that wanted that. This whole thing's shitty. And I feel terrible for the family of the who got killed. I mean, my God.
Too. It's horrible. Like, why do you have an eyesight test when you take a driving test? I mean, why, what are the 2 reasons to have an eyesight test? List them for me.
Well, so that you can make sure that you can properly identify signs and cars and obstacles, right? For one, and then there's the perception issue, so that you can make sure that not only are both eyes working correctly, but that you can see things out of your peripheral to identify proper signage.
It's not that hard. Those 2 things are extremely important. So obviously to see signs, yes, they are color coordinated, but we've all seen signs with pictographs on them, and that's fine. But there are signs like speed limits and roadways and bridges and turnoffs and exits, mile markers. All of those are based on one solid color, which are usually green and white. Some states are pains in the asses that have blue and white, but most states are all the same color. Some are brown, but it doesn't matter. The point is that most roadways, bridges, exits, turnoffs, mile markers are all numbers, letters, and words, and it's extremely important to know what the law is saying. And for example, in a lot of places, the speed limits are posted twice. One is a minimum and one is a maximum. Well, how do you know which one's which? Right? So, I understand that may seem simplistic, but I've been to Japan. I've been to Indonesia. I've driven in Russia. I've driven all over the world. And I will tell you, when you don't speak the language and you don't know, it is really, really difficult to drive effectively without getting killed, for sure. Just letting you know.
As someone who has driven in England and in other countries where things are completely backwards and you're on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car, right, that can have its own set of problems, and that's given that you already understand what the signage looks like. Frank Wood donated $25, says, "Let's go dummies." Thank you, Frank. So you couldn't even still understand the signs and the laws and still be messed up just because you're on the wrong side of the car. So there's a lot that was going on there.
Yeah, and Chuck makes a good point. He says emergency vehicles only, or emergency vehicles only and emergency turns. So a lot of them state in Colorado, California, Arizona. No, Arizona doesn't have any. Their roadways are fantastic in Arizona. And I don't think they have any emergency turnarounds that I've seen. I mean, maybe in some of the back roads, but 101, 303, 202 is just like solid.
Yeah.
But the point is that it might say that it's authorized for civilian turnarounds during an emergency, but most of them will say unauthorized vehicles are prohibited, and it's only emergency vehicles or official vehicles have the right to do so, which is like CDOT and other stuff like that. So
usually state vehicles. Yeah.
Right. This guy had no business driving a truck of that size. Like most drivers who drive something of that size, they forget about their back end. And I think that's the number one thing that people will tell you who get a big size truck, an F-250 or a dually or something to that effect. The first thing that they have to learn is how to drive it from the back before they drive it from the front. And I've driven trailer vehicles. I would never drive anything over. I've driven big U-Hauls. I have no desire to drive a truck. I would kill people. I just can't drive from the back like that. And I just don't have the capability. But when I have had to drive trailers and larger size, 10-foot, 12-foot trailers along with a bigger truck, it's nerve-wracking. It's scary.
Oh, absolutely.
You just think dude, if this thing loses,
quadruple the size of that, all of a sudden, instead of hauling a 12-foot trailer, I think most semis are 53 feet. So I can't even imagine the exponential change in difficulty level to go from one to the next. And that's just driving something like what you said, like a U-Haul. To turn that into a semi just presents a whole new world of problems.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Tino, why you're saying California. Maybe somebody said that, but Leeroy is blurry, Matt. I don't control his camera, guys. I can't fix that. That's up to Leeroy. So, Leeroy, I think the team has feedback for you tonight. They've got some feedback for you, and I think you guys need to stop giving it to me because I've tried to make this happen. So it's not me. I don't know what to do. I can't fix it. But what I can tell you is that I didn't say he was arrested in California. I said he was issued his CDL in California and came to Florida and has had several infractions. And he was arrested by the U.S. Marshals.
Fort Pierce.
Yeah, U.S. Marshals clocked him. And I didn't say he was in California. I'm not sure why anyone would say that. He was trying
that accident happened actually near my birthplace. So that was in Fort Pierce, Florida, a long way away from California.
Yeah, they'll just know that he had $10,000 cash. He was trying to flee, and that's another question: is how did he get access to that money? Because he was released. Why was he released? There's a lot of questions. So I want to see the highway patrol. I want to find out what the report was. I want to find out if he was arrested. If he was arrested, was released on his own recognizance. But to be arrested in a quick time period, to have the accident, to get the U.S. Marshals hit him, and to have $10,000 cash on him, and he was trying to jam boogie. It's my understanding that he was trying to return to California. Is my understanding what the U.S. Marshal told me, and that's where we're at. So crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll continue to follow it. It's an intriguing story, and people are making the argument this ridiculous. Well, is it because he's an illegal? That what if he was illegal? Would it make it just as bad? And it's like, first of all, of course it would. Second of all, that's not what happened. That's a hypothetical. And the reality is he was an illegal alien. And if he just simply wasn't in this country, this wouldn't have happened. Well, tens of thousands of accidents happen per hour. Yes, that's absolutely true. But this is a different situation, just a tad, don't you think? Where he literally decapitated. I mean, those people were cut in half.
I'll tell you what the difference is. In one situation, it was the state who had failed to properly screen somebody and let that person loose with nothing short of, a several ton vehicle, just, with little to no training, apparently. So we can blame the state on that one, or right? In cases where it truly is the truck driver's fault. Maybe the dude falls asleep. Maybe he makes some poor decisions in life and is strung out on drugs, whatever the case is. In one case, it's the state's fault. And in the other case, it's the individual's fault. It's still the individual's fault, but at least now we know that there's a forensic path. There's a path where we can say this is where this portion of the system failed and it was state led. That's the difference.
Damani is a self-hating Uncle Tom, and it's about time somebody told him. You know, I've been his friend for a while, and he's just a self-loathing black man that can't accept his blackness, and I'm tired of it. And we gotta expose him for. I've had to expose Candace. I've had to expose Tucker Carlson. Now it's time to expose Damani Felder in his own words. Here it is. I mean, seriously. I mean, I was gonna say Uncle Tom, but this is good enough. Here it is.
This is going to offend some people, but someone has to say it, and it makes sense the more you think about it. A lot of people love calling someone like myself self-hating Uncle Tom, claiming that, I hate myself and hate my skin color because I choose to vote Republican and because I don't choose to have a victim mentality. But think about this. The irony of it is, those same people are the first ones who always are talking about how difficult it is to be black in America and how much easier it must be for individuals.
Tina, you're gonna need to call in because I've got an arresting record from the U.S. Marshals stating that that's wrong what you're saying. So you're going to need to call in and talk to me about this, and then I'll show you the evidence that I have, and then we can debate this. It says ICE issued a detainer. He's been in St. Juicy-Dale since the incident. That's not the information that I have, and you should come on and call the show because you're obviously questioning my credibility, and I respect that. So show me the evidence that you have that negates what I'm saying. At first you said I said it was in California. I never said that. And now you're saying that I'm being dishonest about his arrest record, which I never do. So you can go ahead and call in.
Who are white. So that tells the average thinking person that the person who's actually self-hating is you. If you are always using your race and your skin color as a crutch for why you aren't where you want to be, then you are the one who truly hates yourself. The through line of leftism is misery when you stop and think about it. They are miserable. They do not like themselves. They can't accept themselves the way God made them. And misery loves company. So they want other people to be miserable right along with them. That's just the God's honest truth. It is what it is. And we need to start addressing this more and more often. And more people need to actually realize this for what it is. We have to put an end to this notion that just because you are black or just because of your skin color, that inherently holds you back. Because this is America. This is the best country on the face of the earth to be, regardless of your skin color. And more people need to actually wake up and realize that. Those are my thoughts, and I'm hopeful you agree.
I want to get your thoughts because, you know, it's an interesting thing. Damani gets a ton of traffic from both sources, people who follow him because they want the truth. And also people who follow him because he's black and trying to figure out why he's not a Democrat, which is amazing. Like, I wish I had that audience because it gives him, his haters spend as much time on him as the people who like him. By the way, real quick, before we go over that, I want to just make sure that I'm going to show you the text. And I'll have Leeroy address it, and then I'm going to show you the text that I received and make sure it's got no information on it. So a credibility check is absolutely fine. I don't mind them. I'm going to take it as a serious thing because my credibility is important. So Leeroy, go ahead.
Well, as far as Damani is concerned, I have been saying that exact same thing for several years now. That generally speaking, the further you go left on the political spectrum, the more and more hate you contain within yourself. And the further right you go, generally speaking, they tend to be happier people. They tend to be more individualistic thinking, and they generally have a lack of trust in government, but are very trustworthy in their neighbors, in other people. Whereas the left absolutely has to rely on government. They have to rely on groups and institutions because they think institutionally, whereas the right thinks individually. So 1,000%, I agree with Damani. I've never been one, and it really is kind of gross to think that you can look at somebody based on the color of their skin and automatically assume that you know which way they swing ideologically, right, or politically. And if you can do that, and we've all made fun of the people with blue hair. I get it. I've done it too. But uh, really, those types of things need to be, if you're going to have those types of judgments, have the conversation first. Because I guarantee Damani's had to have that happen. Like I'm sure that he has sat down with people who automatically assumed that he was a Democrat and then go, hey, whoa, 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 wait a second. Why do you think that? Let's walk this through. Let's step through this conversation logically, and then maybe we can get to something. And I think a lot of Americans do that. Right? They automatically assume that if either you're black, that you are a Democrat, or Jewish, that you're a Democrat, and that if you have blue hair or green hair, that you're a Democrat. Maybe there's some legitimacy to some of those things, but not all of it.
So what is it that's the threat from African Americans leaving the Democrat Party? Of course, it's votes. We understand that. Of course. But
well, it's an image.
The word's gotten out enough, don't we think? You know what I mean? It's like, don't enough black people know? You got Ice Cube out there. You've got plenty of, you've got Herman Cain out there. You've got Larry Elder out there. You've got guys like Damani. Right. You've got a lot of, prolific figures.
Thomas Sowell.
Even Candace Owens. I mean, she's batshit crazy, but that's okay. You've even got Harris Faulkner on Fox. And I mean, you have enough people saying, hey, this is wrong. These people are crazy. When is the word going to get out? And you think a few hundred years of slavery and keeping African Americans down would be enough, don't you?
Well, I think that's part of that narrative that absolutely has to be withheld on the left, or upheld rather, on the left, that says that, oh, the big party change back in the mid 50s, or that at some point or other the Southern strategy, the Dixiecrats was a thing. They have to maintain that narrative. Because if people realize that really the values of the parties really have not changed that much, then ultimately they would remember that, okay, the Republicans were kind of the original black party. They were the ones who made it part of their original party platform to end slavery. And we were the group that had the first 23 African Americans that were members of Congress and Senate that were black, were Republican. So they can't afford to let that narrative go, because if they do finally admit the truth, well, then a lot of eyes would be opened up.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. It's not just that, but if you look at the first African Americans in the Senate, but if you actually look at the voting record when it comes to Republicans, here's a great little graphic of this that. Of course, the left is going to say, oh, well, this is it's before the great party switch. Republicans are really Democrats. 13th Amendment abolished slavery, 100% Republican support, 23% Democratic support. 14th Amendment gave citizenship to freed slaves, 94% support from Republicans. 100% Republican support from 15th Amendment, right to vote for all, 0 from Democrat. And then if you look at the Civil Rights Bill, if it wasn't for Republicans, the Civil Rights Bill wouldn't have went through. The 13 southern states that essentially refused to vote for it were enough and enough Democrats also voted against it, where if it wasn't for the Republicans, it wouldn't have passed. So we can sit here and play these games. Here's the text that I got. I hope you guys can trust me enough not to assume that I had a chance to Photoshop what Instagram looks like. What took me so long is that I could not figure out how to get in the messages into Instagram. That's how little I use Instagram. But this is it. The news isn't, and there's also another text string, but there is information in there that I can't unfortunately share with you. The news isn't reporting it, but Florida Highway Patrol let him go, and he absconded back to California, and we were called to catch him. U.S. Border Customs and Border Patrol was looking, but they were on the wrong house. He was caught with $10,000 and was ready to dip out of the country. That is straight from the Office of U.S. Marshals, who took him into custody and found him within 4 hours. The conversation lasted quite a while, and you're hearing through multiple news sources that the U.S. Marshals did, in fact, arrest him. So that is confirmed now. And they've had this way later than we had it. You have not heard about the $10,000, at least that I've seen, and it very well may be in the ether right now. So once again, I appreciate being challenged. There's nothing wrong with that. But until I see something that challenges this and the credibility of the person who has given me information that has been 100% dead balls accurate for my entire relationship with, I'm going to go with them. So that's pretty much it. So, but I also respect Tina's opinion and her sources, and she may have something that I don't have, but, there are plenty of newspapers that have ultimately found the same thing, that the U.S. Marshals did arrest him and wind up arresting him. And why CBP was on the wrong house or couldn't find him, or why they released him, I have no idea. I don't have any answer to that question. And that's what I would want to know is, why did Florida Highway Patrol release him? I don't know.
That's fair.
I have no idea.
There's quite a bit of this that is free flowing, right? There's a lot of developments that just haven't been reported yet, and as things continue, as we move through the timeline with this, more and more details will come out. Now, let's just face the fact that we don't have all of the answers. But when you get a text from a law enforcement agency like U.S. Marshals, I mean, that's pretty legitimate. Right.
Yeah. And second, it's not my understanding that he was in California at all. My point is that California was responsible because they were the issuing party of his CDL, along with Washington and Tacoma, which he passed both tests and should have failed simply because of the language issue that I just also exposed for you. I don't even have his test results, but the point is he's an illegal. He shouldn't have an issuing authority for being an illegal. What should happen is he should be reported. I mean, that's what a government agency should do when they run across somebody who is an illegal alien in this country, is immediately contact ICE, contact DHS, contact whoever you want, any local authority and police, because they are illegal in our country and they have no right to be in our country. So I can only report what I get, and I can only trust the people that give it to me. But we don't know why. We have no idea why. And the story could be incorrect, right? We don't know. All I know is that this is what's being reported to me, and I've been able to confirm it through multiple sources, especially on the internet, and that's good enough for me until I hear something different. Now, but my understanding is that CBP, and this is directly from the U.S. Marshals, is that Border Patrol was called, and Border Patrol is in Florida, and ICE is also in Florida, were to dispatch to pick this guy up and grab him, and went to a location where he was not. Matt and Leeroy, who is more racist, Biden or Obama? As you know, they say Trump is racist.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. You want to take?
I mean, does it matter really?
Yeah. Is there such thing as
who's more racist?
Who can be more racist? I mean, is that really a thing? Is there a way to gauge that?
I mean, if
based on one's actions.
If we could dress Biden up like Gene Wilder and Obama up like Sheriff Bart,
yeah.
You know?
Sheriff Bart. Sheriff's a bone. Listen, if you ask me a question of who's more racist, that's like asking me who's more of a ruthless, homicidal, mass murderer and genocidal maniac, right? Adolf Hitler or Genghis Khan. Right. Genghis Khan's worse than, but honestly, Stalin and Lenin were worse than Hitler, but Hitler purposely tried to exterminate an entire group of people. And it's not that Stalin and Lenin didn't throw people into trenches, but most of them was done of ineffectual logistics. And
I have a theory about that.
Okay, well, let's go back to the question real quick, and then we can do the theory. So who's more racist, Joe Biden or Obama? Here's the thing, is I think a person who openly is racist is less of a threat than a person who is overtly racist. And I believe Barack Obama is an overt racist. I think he despises white people. I don't think he has any respect for white people. I think he hates America. I think he hates our country, hates our flag. And I don't think Joe Biden hates America. I think I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but almost 100 people since the last time I told you. That's how fast. It's just this thing just all night long. It's nice because it's like, we're open for business. All right. So I think Biden is a creature of his environment and was raised in a time and a place that he never grew out of, but did it because he was forced to, not because he truly believed to do it. I think he's always used black people for his advantage. His lifeguard stories, his time in Scranton, PA, talking about how he marched in civil rights, which he didn't. I mean, all these things, he's always used black people. The way he went after Clarence Thomas, the way he talked about Obama being clean and brown, the way he's talked about people of Indian descent, dots, not feathers. Ooh. So Biden is just openly racist. And in from an age where he'll never get better, and he surrounded himself with friends like Strom Thurmond and Wallace and Byrd, who are all clanners and cluckers, and they all changed because they had to, not because they wanted to. Obama, his religion teaches him this, and he is absolutely, in my opinion, he despises the infidel. Thomas Griffiths donated $20. Every cent counts. Thank you, Thomas. Leeroy, go get him. What do you think?
Oh, nothing. You've described it perfectly. I don't think that. I don't think you can look at one, moderate racist and look at one who maybe is a little more extreme and say, oh, which one is better? They both suck ass, in my opinion. You've described it perfectly. It's a matter of, well, which murderer is better than the other one.
Right.
And I'll tell you, from the older person's perspective, right? And Biden was certainly like this. Like, I can remember some of my wife's relatives who were sweet as angels, right? But they would have, like, they would sing an occasional song that had like the N-word in it, and you're like, where the hell did you hear? Like, the first time I ever heard that one, I was like, where the hell did you? She didn't mean anything by it, but you're like, that is wildly racist, and I've never heard that from you before, right? And it was just a generational thing. And so, yeah, I don't think it really matters. If you're a racist, you're racist. If you think that you are better or worse than some other person based off of the skin tone, then I really don't want to talk to you.
I want to thank the person who sent me this just now, just to confirm that the information that I'm providing is accurate and to the best of my knowledge. As most of you know, I had this information last night after the show with Lisa Regina. And this is important because we want to be challenged. We had a viewer who accused me of never listening to anyone else's opinion. That's not true. I certainly listen. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go ahead and defend my own. The fatal crash occurred on August 12th, 2025, when Harmanjar Singh allegedly attempted an illegal U-turn at the Florida Turnpike, resulting in a collision that killed 3 people. An arrest warrant for Singh on 3 counts of vehicular homicide was issued on the 15th. So that's 3 days later, folks. So he was released on his own recognizance, and an investigation took place. And on August 16th, U.S. Marshals received the warrant and related information from the Florida Highway Patrol, acting on a tip. They located Singh at a property in Stockton, California. So now what? Through surveillance, they identified him as a lone occupant of a vehicle at that location. Singh was arrested without incident by the U.S. Marshals and task force officers. He was booked in the San Joaquin County Jail, and an ICE detainer was immediately filed to hold him in Immigrants Authority as well. So I was incorrect. It wasn't Florida. It was California. So that's how we know he fled the state. That's how we know where he got them. Now we don't know where he got the money, but the money was also there. That's not being released. So everything I said is 100% accurate versus the location of the arrest, which wasn't in the details of the original email, only what I understood and everyone else understood. So he was arrested in California. He was arrested by the U.S. Marshals. The task force involved was a co-op. And now we know why CBP was involved, because California Border Patrol is what CBP is, not Customs, which is usually U.S. CBP, which is U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, and where there's an "and" in the middle. So CBP is California Border Patrol. So that makes complete sense. That proves the authenticity even more of the message that I received, and I stand by my reporting 100%. So thanks. Let's go into some other stuff. I think it's a good conversation. But when it comes to who's more racist, who's more loving, who's more hateful, it comes down to Obama did more to divide black people and white people than anyone in my opinion, in U.S. history. Okay, hands down. even more so than LBJ, more so than FDR, and we can go down the list. But Joe Biden did more, in my opinion, to force black people into a line and a lane of thinking when they were showing that they wanted out. During COVID, African Americans pushed back, they challenged, and they didn't like the way they were treated. Obama came out and said, "Black man, what are you doing voting for Trump?" and belittled them, belittled their education, belittled their fathers, belittled, and literally said, "Negro, get back in your fucking lane." I'm sorry, but that's what happened. And that's exactly the way they talked to him. It's like if Malcolm X came down, was in a bow tie, and literally just like chastised them for, "You little black boys, get your ass in line or I'll whip you." That's what he did.
That whole speech where he's like, "I'm going to put y'all back in chains." Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, I do.
It's just so racist, overtly. Yeah. And I was thinking about this while you were saying that, and I reflected a little bit on what Damani said, and this might be probably the most accurate and apropos thing I've really understood from Damani. If you use Damani's scale, remember what he was just talking about, that the further left you go, well, it's like they have more hate, they have more discontent with themselves, they have more hate in their heart. Maybe it's easy to pick up on who the worst racists are by the amount of overt hate they carry for everyone else. That's the Damani scale.
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Come on, grow up.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. I mean, there's some other sound bites that we could play, but I don't think we need to play them anymore. If anybody is looking for the report that I just had, I can send that to you also on the driver. And if you're looking for the original, it'll be on at 8:30. So you can take a look there. So anyway, moving on. I don't know if you've had a chance to kind of see this, but this video also I'm going to be posting tonight because I just thought it was actually hilarious. Well, no, let's do this first. I've got something better. I also have a political, by the way, we just hit where we were an hour ago exactly, and we just passed it. So just FYI, we're doing good.
So we were at 245,660. What are you at now? 257? Oh, 245,768. Got it.
But that's awesome. Still, that's 100 in less than 30 minutes. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's just going to get better. Now we just got 2. All right. So here's the deal. By the way, folks, we're at 206. Sunday was an abysmal failure with having Ryan. Great show, but fundraising was not the best. Last night was pretty rough too. If you have not had a chance to help the Don't Unfriend Me show out, we would appreciate it. It allows you to get reporting that you're not getting anywhere else. You get to hear some great analytics from the hosts, and we have some great guests on board and on tap. And we really want to put this concert on, so we've got to drive here. So we're at 206. We're about $94 shy. We would love to overdrive. Leeroy and I usually stay on for till 9:30, so maybe you could stop by and help us out and see what you can do. We would appreciate it. 146 people on in Legacy, which is really, really good. Here is this. And I'm going to give you a couple of guesses at who this is for. It's a political organization notice section of 527 status. Now, what a 527 is something that we have to have as well. Is we have to have a 527 because we're a political organization in the eyes of Facebook. Even though we have no affiliation to the RNC or the DNC or anyone else, we are a political organization in their eyes. So we have to clarify. So all the ads that I run, it has to say social political organization, Matthew Owen Spear of blank, blank, Virginia. And it says it right there. And we have to declare that we're running ads. And you can go in and see how much I've spent on ads on the life of the page. It's right there. And I have to disclose every single dollar that I've invested into ads. And that is the only way that I can run ads on Facebook. It's insanity. But This you're not going to have to guess too far, but it's pretty.
It was on the upper left of the page.
Well, I know. I was trying to sneak it.
I got you.
So Senator Schiff Legal Defense Fund.
Now I have his email address, that's awesome. I can
you've-
sign him up for the Republican Party.
Yep. You also have his EIN number too, which for his employment. So if you actually want to go ahead and put some sort of a lawsuit against him from any type of business dealings or any type of that, you now have his EIN.
Right.
You've got a PO box, Washington D.C., his email, and essentially the name of custodian of records is there. And this essentially is that he is going, as a politician, going to raise money for his legal defense fund, because I think old Otto Penn isn't instilling a lot of confidence that his pardon is going to hold up. I think he's covering and hedging his bets a little bit, and that's the only reason I can think of him picking up a legal defense fund. I'm really stoked we got a hold of that thing. Leeroy, would you like to go ahead and comment on Adam Schiff? Do you think this is just precaution, or do you think that his butthole's puckering a little bit? Remember, I did a video this week that said Shifty Schiff is shifting his pants. I think he is now. I think I was right.
Yeah, no, that definitely seems like somebody's in panic mode. And what he is trying to do is raise some money to defend against something, because he played on the offense for so long that now he has to play defense. And whatever the charges are, or whatever the accusations are going to be, it must be significant enough that he's like, shit, I need to have a bankroll. You know what I mean? That's good. I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's legal for him to do this because he is filling out the proper paperwork, and as a political political person, he has every right to raise money for his political defense. He just has to disclose that. But now the one thing is that opens up a whole litany of questions in regards to him, because now you're going to see what he uses his defense for. But the thing about Schiff that I don't think he wants to do is that if he does allow this to be opened up in discovery, he's going to be exposed for all the dirt that he has done. And I think that's something that he probably doesn't want, if you can imagine, from his involvement with Russia, with the fake DJs that tried to set him up, from his lies about Russian collusion, to all the things that he has done over the last 10 years to go after Trump. I have to imagine he's not too excited to have that all come out in the great wide open. Thoughts, Leeroy?
No, I would completely agree. Whatever he's defending it against, I'm I'm going to be watching with a keen eye.
Yeah, I'm really kind of just a little discombobulated and disenfranchised right now, because I am a little frustrated at how there are once again absolutely no arrests. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of hearing the excuses. And I guess I'm going to throw this meme up later. But want to show this to you. And I just want to check the boxes, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So this is, I'll probably put this up tomorrow or something. But as of right now, here's where we are. Number of arrests for Russian collusion. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you, buddy. We're at 0. January 6th, FBI informants and the like, 0. Mar-a-Lago raid, going through panty drawers, stealing Donald Trump's passport illegally, 0. Biden auto pen scandal, 0. 2020 election, 0. Epstein pedophile arrests, 0. COVID, 0. Benghazi, 0. Doge fine, 0. Ukraine impeachment, hoax, 0. I don't know what to say. Listen, I love what Donald Trump's doing. I really do. I'm a big fan of what he's doing, but I am not a big fan of the State Department. I'm not a big fan of the FBI. I'm not a big fan of the DOJ. And I think we are absolutely dropping the ball. Let's get someone arrested. Otherwise, everything you're doing is just a lie. It's just political theater, and it's just to get us to get some fat on the bone. And I'm done with it. How about you?
A couple weeks ago, we covered a story about a young man who was driving around, and I think he had some weed on him. And then, he was basically asking the police, hey, why am I being pulled over? And then they reached through, they broke the window after they told him to get out of the car, arrested him on the spot.
Oh, yeah. I remember this
Remember that?
one. Oh,
Okay.
a little bit. It kind of turned into the biggest fight that we've had between a great fan and this show ever in history. And by the way, we wound up being right. You're going to cover that. Go ahead.
But my point is that, like, so from the perspective of people who see that the common arrests that happen all the time, and then when you go through that list that you just had up, Mar-a-Lago, January the 6th.
Yeah.
Benghazi, email
Russian
servers.
collusion.
Right.
27 shell companies.
Yes, that there is almost certainly 2 tiers of justice here in the U.S., and it's only the people like myself and Matt and the commoners, right? Everyone watching who can be arrested. And it's like, once you've graduated to become a resident of D.C., somehow or another, those laws, they get a little more gray. They get a lot more fuzzy. And you might be, you might find yourself on the wrong side of the law, but that doesn't mean that you'll ever be arrested. You will never be witness to someone like a Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or anybody else being walked out in handcuffs. It's just not going to happen.
Well, look at this. Look at Diddy. Enough said.
Yeah.
We saw him literally punch his girl in the face, drag her by the hair back into a room, proceeded to beat the shit out of her. Nothing happened to him. What happened to him? Nothing. Chuck Peterson says, do you think the DNC could be charged under RICO? No. Should they? Yes. Should they is the operative word, not could.
Should they? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, should, yes. Will
Would
they?
they? No.
Nobody's going to get charged. No one's ever going to be held accountable. Kat Alkire says, doesn't it take about a year to investigate these people and crimes? No. Epstein was 2006, was charged and arrested in 17. Ghislaine Maxwell was 2000. Right. Look at Benghazi, right? All of that's there. What about quid pro quo between Burisma and Poroshenko and Biden and the $1 billion blackmail on live TV? TV.
Email server scandal was back when she was Secretary of State. What year was that?
All of this information's there. We're ready. But it's not a start because nothing's started. Nothing's happened. Look at the Doge number. What happened with Doge? Nothing.
Right.
What happened with Biden's secret documents that he had 5 times, was told by his lawyers that he had given up everything and then he had more. 5 different locations, Pennsylvania, Delaware, in a Chinese college. I mean, nothing's going to happen. It's just not going to. Like, anyone who, here's how I know, okay? Here's how I know. It's real simple. Do you believe that you can win the lottery? Who believes you can?
You can.
You can't.
I believe you can.
You can't. And we've all seen anecdotal evidence of other people winning, but the odds of you winning the lottery might as well just be, I can't. It's not going to happen, because I have done it so many times and I have never won. The odds are not getting any better. I think the odds of winning are like something like 32 million to 1. It's a ridiculous number. Not even 32 million to 1. It's higher than that. It has to be.
So
320.
There's a chance.
Right. So,
Right.
But there comes a point where practicality through numbers and physics does not equate to reality. right? You can explain away an elephant hanging from a cliff by its tail from a daisy. Theoretical physics can teach you that that's all possible. Quantum mechanics can tell you it's all possible. There has to be variabilities that take place. We have to lose gravitational force. We have to go ahead and reinforce the dandelion into the ground with another structure and increase the tensile strength of the flower. And physics will tell you that you can do all that, but your eyes will tell you that it's impossible. So here's what I'm saying. We've all played the lottery. We've seen it. We've saw the Iran-Contra hearings. We saw the savings and loan scandal. You've seen Epstein. You saw Freddie Mae and Bernie Mac or whatever the fuck it's called. We've seen all of the corruption. We've seen $9 trillion missing out of the defense budget over 21 years. We've seen what happened in Afghanistan. We saw with Burisma. We saw what happened with Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton on the tarmac. We saw COVID. We saw nothing's going to happen because no matter what the probability and the numbers and the physics tell you, at some point you're just going to have to say it's never happened, therefore it never will.
Right. I mean, at some point, do you have the same chance as everyone else? Yes. But the chances are so small that it's like being struck by lightning and crashing in an airplane. And then once it falls to the ocean, then getting bitten by the shark. It's just never going to happen all at once.
So here, let me give you some odds. Okay, let's just do this, right? Because this show is all about odds, and we love numbers. Numbers are great. We live by them, but they also tell a story that sometimes we just need to realize is a fairy tale, right? Like here's the fairy tale. Powerball odds of winning in the jackpot. What do you think they are there, Leeroy?
Powerball?
Yeah, Powerball odds.
I think that's like 60 million.
It's 1 in 292 million.
Oh, shit.
What do you think the Mega Millions odds are winning?
Oh, God. Well, it just went from 292 million. All right, so
billion.
Yeah. 292. No. Probably call it 600 million.
No, you would think, but honestly, there's only like a 15% increase in playability, so it's 1 in 302 million. Now,
okay.
You're more likely to be struck by lightning in your lifetime. What do you think the odds are? 1 in what? This is fun. I love this shit. Like
1
this is
in
great.
15,000.
You're such a dick. It's exactly, you Googled it. There's no way you got that right. It's 1 in 15,000. There's no fucking way. I don't believe you. Maybe you read that somewhere and you pulled that out of your cranium. Okay.
I just remember things.
No, and so do I. You're more likely to die from a shark attack. About 1 in what?
I think that's like that. You would think that would be around 20,000.
Oh, it's actually 1 in 3.7 million. Shark attacks are very few. And you're more than likely to flip a coin and have it land on heads 28 times in a row than win
big number.
Than win the lottery.
Yeah. That's going to be a big number.
Yeah.
What's the most you ever lost in a coin toss? Yeah.
Right. So that's my point, right? Is like, we can sit here that, hey, it's going to happen. We're going to see it. We've got faith. I don't. So, and it's not that if it happens, I'm going to eat crow, because based upon the information that I have right now, my assessment in real time is spot on. Nothing's going to happen.
That's fair.
So until it, and everyone's like, well, until it does. Yeah. But then let me ask you a question. Do you really believe that all 12 of those things that I mentioned, you're going to get satisfaction for all of them based upon the numbers? That would be like 1 in 7,000 that actually went to some form of justice was handed out. That's just an arrest. That's not conviction. That's not jail sentence. That's not being pled down. That's not everything being swept under the rug. I mean, for this to happen and actually go from dollars to donuts, full prosecutorial powers, full arrest, extradition, jail time, house arrests, bankruptcies, scandals, multiple RICO cases, indictments handed down.
Right.
For that to happen, nobody's going to let that happen. You want to know why? Because it's never happened anywhere in the world, and we're a very young country. They don't do that to governments. You know what they do? They do a coup d'etat. They assassinate their leaders who do shit like that.
That's how you get Gaddafi. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right. You don't hold them accountable by the courts. You hold them accountable by the military or the people. So you're just not going to see it, and I'm sorry. And I wish I could tell you. I wish I could give you good news, America, but I can't. I just have to be honest with you. 206.33. The needle hasn't moved. We are at the 8 o'clock hour. We got to play a commercial, and we also got to do the trivia question. And I'm going to put that in. Let's see if I've got it. I hope my wife sent it to me. Oh boy,
I love her trivia questions.
Well,
I think I just got the last one right. Like I feel like I've earned extra credit here for knowing about the lightning strike thing.
Well, you definitely have my respect a little bit, folks. I did not have a chance to do the sell for the trivia question. I'm sorry. You guys, the hours have gotten even longer, and with the sites and all these posts, I'm creating all this stuff. So every video you see, all these videos you've been seeing, all the memes, all the news, it's a lot. And unfortunately, I don't have the time. So, once again, another help us out. If you have the opportunity, please do. Olivia's going to come back in for trivia. And I'm going to try to cut the video while we're watching the commercial. So let's do that. And then I'll see if we can do the trivia question, if that's okay with you. I'll cut the video and try to get it done while I'm working. Okay? Be right back. No. It's one of those days, dude. Hold on, folks. It's one of them days. Yeah, I know. Here it is.
Hi, I'm Olivia Spear, host of The Dumb Show. For 3.5 years, we never asked for donations, but after Facebook demonetized us for speaking the truth, we've had to turn to the one thing big tech can't cancel: you.
I'm Hayden, Matt and Olivia's daughter. This show's never chased sponsors or sold out. We've built something honest, and it's thanks to you.
I'm Ethan, their son. Every share, every dollar, every message, you're the reason we can keep calling out the BS and bringing color back to the world going gray.
If you want to help, we take PayPal, Venmo, or snail mail. You can send it to P.O. Box 2, Round Hill, Virginia 20142.
Can't donate? No problem. Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored. You can donate at...
All right, everybody. I will try to do this right. And I apologize. I didn't have what I needed tonight. So I'm very, very sorry. The phone number is 276-200-2105. I don't have multiple choice. Ratified by Tennessee on today's date. Which amendment gave women the right to vote? You can actually text in to 276-200-2105. We will be checking all of our texts to make sure that we've got the right answers. If you have not had a chance, please do me a favor and throw your answer in now.
TheDumbShow.com/donate.
You know what happens when you turn the dial harder? You can make a harder grimace. The harder you grimace, the more effective it is.
You tighten it so frickin' I can't do it. I can't untighten it.
That's what she said.
That's what she's... Oof. Oof. Coming in with it. Pounded. Pounded. Pound.
Child gets 15.
Ethan, you look like a hippie.
Totally tubular.
You know this is recording, right?
Okay, let's go. Smile. Donate. Don't start with me. Donations. Every time you don't smile, I'm going to punch you in the ribs. Donations. Take one. Scene one. Ready. Set. Ethan.
Break.
Ready. Don't screw it up.
Okay.
Ethan, don't mess this up. Ready. Set. Action. No. Whoa. Director calls action, not some stupid toddler.
But we've built something
There's no
honest.
but there. Why do you've been doing this since you were 2 years old? Try it again.
Just share the show with someone who needs to hear it.
He's so much better than you at everything.
Better.
Hayden, he's just like, even, it's just, go ahead, Hayden.
Thanks for helping us stay loud, proud, and completely uncensored.
That's a wrap. Well done, Spear family. I bet we make no money.
But I'm gonna owe them money without.
Hayden, do your thing again.
Oh, yeah, cut it.
Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Folks, please get your question in. I just received a message. I'm trying to get the spammer. Sorry, dude. You're not going to beg for donations on my channel. We're in it already, and no offense, but no, not a chance. Not a chance, buddy.
Spammers.
I'm sorry, bud, but it's like going into my retail store and trying to sell product. No, it's my channel. If you need something, you come to me. And if you need some help, maybe we can see what we can do for you. But that's the only way we do it. Second, I received a message from Tina Savage on the Department of Homeland Security and their statement. I want to go ahead and read it because I want to be fair to Tina. This is actually outdated information, Tina. This is from August 18th, so that's number one. So it only says the following, and I want to give you credit. What you're saying is that it's not true. It says ICE issued an immigration detainer on August 16th. There's no doubt that they probably did. After Sin was arrested to ensure he remains in custody after his state prosecution, preventing him from slipping back onto America's streets, the detainer ensures he will be transferred to ICE custody the moment his criminal case concludes. DHS law enforcement is protecting American communities every day. It says nothing about California. It says nothing about $10,000. It says nothing about the U.S. Marshals. It just says ICE issued a detainer. But on my authority and the information that I received is that ICE, CBP, whoever was involved, was that he was missed where they tried to pick him up, and the U.S. Marshals were activated to find him, and that's what they do. They hunt down, as you know, escaped convicts or people who are wanted by the law that they feel are flight risks, and the U.S. Marshals nabbed him. So I've got confirmation from, I don't know, I think I gave you confirmation from 6 different newspapers. Let me read them off to you. Sorry. So I got this from the U.S. Marshal Service, exactly, dated August 18th, an updated article 3 days after yours from the U.S. Marshals website, which is a .gov site. The information I also gave you was from a Wikipedia, but also U.S. Marshal Service and U.S. Borders and Customs also, and then Department of Homeland Security. So those are the collection of information that I gave you from. Those are non websites and news sites. Those are government sites. So your article is working on what I believe in outdated information. So that's it. So things have transpired in the last 3 to 4 days that have changed that initial report. And it does say he was arrested, but it doesn't say how. So if I'm the government, I'm going to give you the most simplistic answer possible and call it good. And excuse me, I'm not going to talk about any embarrassing mishaps or any misses. I'm not going to throw any other agency under the bus. So he was issued a detainer and he was apprehended. Where and how? My understanding is it was Florida, but we're getting information that it was California. So I will qualify that information and try to find out. But I never said it was California. I always said it was Florida. But if it is California, it kind of makes sense why CBP, California Border Patrol, was in there. And also that was his home state. So it would make sense that he would have access to his finances, his monies, his cash. And he also probably felt that he would feel comfortable slipping the border there than anywhere else in America. So there's a whole lot of things.
I mean, we could speculate on
right.
on the hows and the whys, but the fact of the matter is if he had $10,000 with him, then I have to assume that he didn't have that just in the truck. He had to have gone home. And again, it's an assumption, but that he had said $10,000 with the intent to skip the country.
Well, just remember, There is a very, very bad Asian in California who is trying to soup up and spoon Honda Civics with turbo engines, and they are stealing DVD players and cassette tapes from semi trucks.
Those are VCRs, actually.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous, very dangerous, and you don't want to keep $10,000 in a truck. You gonna turn on your family, Dom?
Familia.
Dude, it's a great show. It's a great show, though. I mean, it's so stupid. You have to suspend disbelief. It's like, next thing, Fast and Furious in space. So let's do the trivia question. No, I didn't forget, but I want to get to Tina because I care about Tina, and I don't want to disagree with her. I don't want to argue with her. I just want to talk about the facts, and I'm trying to do that. Okay. Well, so it seems to be combative at this point, and I'm not gonna. Now we're done. We're just done. Sorry, I'm not gonna. I'm just done. So let's go. It's amazing how you don't know anything. That's me. I'm just some stuck in the mud. I don't know anything. I don't have any contacts. I just make shit up all the time, and you're not the only person with contacts. You're not the only person who's worked in this industry. And I think the way you blow me off constantly is it's annoying, and it's getting a little tired. So we're going to be done at this point. And if you can't say anything, then maybe you shouldn't. If you're going to say, well,
that's fair.
There's things that I know that you can't. Well, then maybe you shouldn't say anything. Because there's things that I know that I can say, and that's why I'm saying them. And I don't know why that's a big deal. So I don't know. Okay, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a whole bunch of people. Let's start with the 5th fastest answer was Carrie Ripley. The 19th Amendment, that is correct. Jennifer Garlett at the 19th Amendment, that is correct. A lot of women, go figure. Melanie Marino, also the 19th Amendment. And Deidre, is it Daly or Daly? I think it's Daly. Daly, 19th Amendment. The number one answer for twice in the last 2 weeks is Carrie Spriggs.
Yay!
Carrie Spriggs at the 19th. And honorable mention, the one man, Frank Riley. So good job, Frank. So outstanding job. By the way, just if you haven't checked the Facebook ticks, we're sitting at almost 200 from when we came on. So we're doing pretty well. Hoping we get some donations to come in. And here are some questions. It's not uncommon to raid several locations in the pursuit of one to ensure you walk away with them. And he's not informed of the raids. Great. The U.S. Marshals are the oldest division in the field. I didn't know that. Well, yes, I did. Of course. No, I think we did because of Westerns. Yeah, that makes sense. The U.S. Marshals and the Pinkertons. I just think we didn't put 2 and 2 together. Matt, your thoughts on the boys being punished for commenting on the trans girl in their locker room in the Loudoun County, Virginia? I haven't gotten to it yet, Janet, and I don't know. I know about that, so I'm going to have to look into it, and I will see what I can see. But I didn't know anything about that. Let's get into it. Whole bunch of other information coming out, and we'll see where we're at with donations once Ethan scrounges through hopefully a few emails to see where we're at. Next topic of consideration. This is something so simple, I don't even know if it needs a lot of comment. Kristi Noem was down on the border, and she was I'll just listen to it. This is interesting. I mean, it's so simple, but so clever and smart. Carrie Spriggs donated $10. Dumb question of the night. She is the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you.
Good job, Carrie. Thank you very much.
Yes, Carrie. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate it. I think we got another one coming in right away. Let's see if we do. Maybe not. Yep, Carrie Spriggs, 227.13. Here is the next video of Kristi Noem.
Now, if you look at the structure that's behind me, it's tall, which makes it very, very difficult to climb, almost impossible. It also goes deep into the ground, which would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to dig under. And today, We are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer.
So painting the border wall black, which, Brian, thank you for your donation. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you so very, very much, which is $10.80, puts us at $237. Hopefully we're over driving tonight. That would be awesome. So painting it black. Now, the good news about painting black, Leeroy, which I'm not sure if you know, is first of all, it's going to be really, really hot, right? Because it's going to absorb that color.
Super hot, sure.
And second, it's going to look much, much bigger when it's black, from what I understand.
Oh, right. It actually should measure bigger too.
It should be girthy.
It's like racing stripes on cars. Yeah. Yeah.
It's girthier, you know?
Yeah.
So, but listen,
Thicker,
this really
longer.
thicker, long. Hey, what's black, long, and full of semen?
Submarine.
A submarine. That is correct. For anyone who didn't think that, your head's in the wrong place. I mean, this is a great idea. I mean, I don't know. I go out in Virginia and it's like 92 degrees, and I have an aluminum table. Oh my God! Like, dude, my arms. I pick them up and they're like blistered. I think this is a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
It's going to dissuade so many people. Yeah. That's a great idea. Crickets. No, yeah, it's going to dissuade so many people who are not even going to be able to stand the temperatures as they spike on, 150, 200 degrees, maybe not 200 degrees, but you're not going to be able to hold on to it long enough or, do anything against the metal. They would have to take further measures to cool it down before they could do anything with that fence. So yeah, it's a great idea.
Right. Good. Well, that's easy. I want to say something really quick. I want to apologize. We missed 2 donations, and I see they went through my memory if it serves me. We won't miss it again. Paul Rivera gave us $51.99. Thank you, Paul, so much. And CJ Jenkins came through with $21.10, which hits our goal. We would love to overdrive. We had a horrible Sunday. Last night was way short, and we're trying to make up some of the savings before vacation, before we go to that concert this weekend. We're going to go to Def Leppard, and we're finally going to go as a family and go do something this summer. We've done nothing in like 4 years with COVID and this, so we're going to go out and go stay in a hotel, go down to V Beach. We're going to go over to Dev Gru. I'm going to show them the SEAL Museum and let them go and see some cool people in Coronado and the old stomping grounds. So yeah, so it's going to be a great time. We're going to go have some fun. So please, if you can help us out, please do. I guess, Janet says spray it down with tar, sticky and hot. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've heard that's good. Or baby oil. I mean, because P. Diddy would enjoy it. So that's exciting. I want to show you this because you know what? I seem to have to defend Pete Hegseth way too much. And it frustrates me. This video is of Pete Hegseth, and then I'm going to show you the real video. First of all, anybody who looks at this photo can tell that Pete Hegseth is in exceptional shape. He's lanky. He's probably around 6 to 8% body fat. He's lean muscle. He is in extreme shape, and he has a runner's build. That's a runner's build right there. But not a marathon runner, but that's somebody who runs 3 to 5 miles a day, lifts right, eats right, does push-ups, some sit-ups, and some calisthenics. This is a standard military physique. Okay? And many officers look just like this. Not all of them are beefcakes like Leeroy and I. So,
I'm chubby. I know it.
Whatever. A beefcake is not chubby. You've got it all in the right spots. At least that's what Olivia said. That's so Pete Hegseth. This is what they decided to show, and they make fun of him. They say, well, he was probably drinking because they're jerks and they're losers and they're jealous. And see, if you look at the Democrats on their side, their men are a bunch of effeminate soy boys, and their women are all fat heifers or multicolored hair, nose ring, Birkenstock wearing, patchouli smelling hippies. Okay, so I get it. I understand that when you see a handsome person, there's some jealousy there. But we have better looking people on the right. We've got better looking women on the right. And that whole thing about education that you hung over our heads for so long, your Harvard degrees and your elitist fucking pieces of paper mean nothing in the real world. And we demonstrate that every time we get online and literally destroy you. You guys can't meme, you can't argue. And honestly, you're just terrified. You're just scaredy little bitches. Here are the liberals breaking down Pete Hegseth.
It was President Trump who inspired us to do this.
So I want you to imagine, listen, the first thing I said when I saw that, Leeroy, was that was his 50th, I bet. That was probably his 50th pull-up. I know what that feels like. And you kick it out because you can't give anymore. You've given all you possibly can, and you just kick it out. So that's what they did. They showed this. They tried to break him down, make him feel stupid, discredit him, and all of that. Here is the video. I'm pulling it up right now.
You mean like the whole video, unedited?
I'm not going to show the whole video, but yeah, I'm going to show you a good portion of it.
Maybe a comparison from 1 to 50.
No, I just want you to see what this guy can do. It's game knows game. I'm in pretty good shape. He's in excellent shape, and I always like to watch. So watch this.
All right, here we are in the bowels of the Pentagon for the Pete and Bobby Challenge. I think this was your idea, so I blame you. But it's all about Make America Healthy Again. We're going to be fit, not fat. We want recruits that are ready to go and challenge. What are we doing today, Bobby?
Well, Pete and I are going to do our part, encourage American youth to do this challenge. And the challenge is to do 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups in any order you want in under 10 minutes.
So 5 minutes is the top standard that we want to meet.
Not going to be able to do.
I'll knock out the push-ups with no sweat. In fact, we can bump that up to 250. But the moment that we get to 50 pull-ups, there's no way.
I won't be able to do that.
I could do 25. And there's no way I ever will. I mean, tall guys, long arms, it's impossible. Man, my wingspan is too large. I mean, I can knock out 7 like a champ. Legs crossed, knees bent, completely up. I will chest up on every... Past that, I just can't. I just...
Yeah.
And then I could knock out, probably every other rep 3 to 5. But there's no way I'm going to be able to do it in 10 minutes. There's just no way.
Yeah, no.
But...
honestly, most of the armed forces, I don't even think any of them call for 50 pull-ups.
No,
so, I mean, what they're describing within that workout exceeds every branch of the military to the nth degree.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is like the Murph challenge a little bit without the running and without the weighted back, and then there's a whole bunch of other stuff in the Murph challenge too.
Secretary of Defense shark attack. You can do better, Ranger Tom! Let's go! Make your country proud! Lieutenant Commander Gonzalez, you did the challenge in what time?
3:56.
3:56.
Damn.
3 minutes and 24 seconds. Gunnery Sergeant Prince. Gunnery Sergeant High. 243, sir. 243.
We want to send out a challenge to Sean Duffy.
I'm going to throw it on the military side a little bit, too. Let's challenge the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Raising Cane, and then my friend on TV, Will Kane. How about the Pete and Bobby challenge? 100 push-ups, 50 pull-ups, but we hope Americans will take this challenge and you'll pass it along so that we're ready to be fit the way we need to be healthy, and to have a healthy fighting force. Go get it.
Let's make America healthy.
So, listen.
Good on
you absolutely. You got Hegseth. And you have Kennedy both doing it. Well, listen, push-ups are easy. I mean, push-ups are nothing. So that doesn't bother me. But pull-ups. But if you want to do something like, if you want to do, hold on a second.
How old is Bobby Kennedy?
I don't know. If you want to do something like, I just want to finish my thought. If you want to do something like 100 push-ups, 250 sit-ups, you want to do 100 flutter kicks, you want to do, I don't know, 2 minutes of mountain climb. Okay, sure. All of that. all of that's mind over matter. But the physical impossibility is that I'm 230 pounds and 50 pull-ups is hard. My frame, it's a lot easier for a person with not a lot of muscle mass or not barrel chested or not a big dude or not a lot of wingspan. You've got to be at my height. You got to be 180, and I'm not a toothpick, and I never will be a toothpick. Pull-ups have never been my game. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I was just looking up how old he is.
He's 70.
Robert Kennedy. Yeah, 70 years old, knocking out 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups.
Have you seen him without his shirt off? He's
amazing.
Ripped. He's ripped, dude.
Good on him.
No, he's ripped. He's six-pack, full bench press titties. I mean, the guy's a rock.
Damn.
The guy is massive. So it's pretty impressive. Can we go back to something we said earlier?
Yeah.
You talked about that driver who, remember, got hit in the window, and there was that big argument between the listener and I, and there was a big falling out. So state's attorney went ahead and investigated it, and the officer has been cleared and exonerated of all charges. What they found is that he pulled him over under a probable cause, which would be no lights during inclement weather, but also because he had no tags, expired tags on his plates, and was driving under an expired license. And there was one other infraction. And I think it was like a failure to yield, but he had probable cause. As far as striking him in the face, I didn't go into that, but they did dismiss the original probable cause. And the whole argument was he had no right to pull him over. He resisted arrest. There is a very clear comment made in the video that we're going to have to pull you out of this car. And, you know, that's not an easy process. They warn these guys. They tell these guys, will you please comply? Will you please listen? And if you don't, you can get hurt. Pulling somebody out of a car is dangerous. Let me tell you why it's dangerous. It's because that is the last line where that person might pull a gun. So my assumption, and I have never done a traffic stop in my life. I've been on ride-alongs, but my assumption would be that that's a very dangerous time. When you're reaching into the car, that person can have a knife, they can have a gun, and you want to stun that person. You want to get that person in shock, and you want to get them out as fast as possible. I'm not sitting here and saying that the officer was right on that. He's probably going to get a letter of reprimand. He'll probably have a note in his file, whatever, but it was a probable stop. It was probable cause. He resisted arrest, and he refused to comply with 5 minutes of literally tolerating his attitude and his complete disregard for the officer's safety and his own on a highway. That's it. Once again, the Don't Unfriend Me show is right. And we're just like, if we're wrong, hit us. But if we're not, join us. Have a great conversation. Talk to us, you know? Let's share some ideas. But if it comes to let's just argue to argue, I'm not into it. I'm not. I mean, opinions are okay, but facts, if you're being presented facts in the moment, then supposition is no reason to get upset or frustrated. That's my point. We're having a conversation. Opinions are fine. But when you start saying that this is the way it is, and this is factual, and this cop was bad, and this cop deserves to lose his badge, well, now you're stating fact. It's no longer supposition. And I'm going to take exception to that based upon the current facts and what we know. Go ahead, Leeroy.
I don't have anything to add to that. I think that we break it down on the show pretty well. And if you disagree, like, by all means, call in. If you think that kid was in the right or shouldn't have been pulled out of the car, by all means, call in. But I don't think that anybody who has a leg to stand on has ever done that. They won't call in just because I think they know that we know our shit. And that's fair.
But it's okay. But listen, there's a difference. And I want to be really clear. It's not about knowing our shit. It's that we're not speculating on information. We're saying that there is probable cause. We looked up the statute in the state. We know he was driving with expired tags. Also, somebody said expired license, which he was. And there was a moving violation as well. There was something that he did, and I can't remember what it was, but there was a third reason. The third reason he pulled him over. But he also had tinted windows that were past the legal limit that they also didn't say. So our argument was there was probable cause to the stop. That is what we said. And that they had every right to pull him out of the car. That it was excessive. Hitting him in the face was excessive. There's no doubt about that. But does that deserve for him to lose his job? Is it a coaching? It is. It's a, dude, this is how you get somebody out. If you feel you need to stun him, stun him. Hit him with a taser, hit him with gas, whatever you need to do. But that cop's job at that point is to go into a foreign vehicle, grab a guy, expose his jugular, expose his wrist. He's honestly, I would probably have hit him too to stun the guy and then grabbed him. So the whole entire argument that we had, and the one we had tonight, is based upon factual information, and any speculation was followed by the words and precluded with, I don't know. So it's okay to have an opinion. It's when we state it as fact that contradicts what we're saying that I struggle with and have a problem with. And so it's not about being corrected. It's about being correct. And with speculation, most of the time, it's all just pitter patter and who gives a shit. It's nothing. Yeah. It doesn't mean anything. Facts. And if you can't share the facts or you don't know what they are, then like I said, maybe at the time it's better to say, you know what? Okay. I don't know. But that's what I think. Next thing. Washington, D.C. is being cracked down, dude. And when I say being cracked down, they've had 496 arrests. Tonight they'll have 500. Yep, I know, Brian. Lights were not on his vehicle. I did mention that. But there was something else. It wasn't just the lights. It was the lights. It was expired tags, driving with an expired license, and there was a moving violation. I think it was a failure to yield or failure to stop. And that's why all of those things. But when the guy asked, why did I pull you over? He just said lights. Driver's license and registration, please. He doesn't have to give him a reason. Give me your license and registration. I'll tell you after, we want to run the car. You don't have to have why'd you pull me over? We're going to cover that. I need your license and registration, please. I mean, just give him the fucking license and registration. The whole thing wouldn't have happened. You would have you're going to jail no matter what. Now you're going to jail with a resisting arrest. Oh, weed. Yeah, but that was after. You can't smell weed for probable cause to pull them up. The initial stop was based upon lights, registration, or license plate registration, and then there was a failure to yield or a failure to stop somewhere. Just let you know. No seatbelt. That's what it was. Thank you. Yes, Gregory. No seatbelt. You're absolutely correct. Thank you. See, that's why I said I think. I didn't say I know. For 100%, there was a moving violation. No, I think. I can't remember that. And see, if we come out and we say, well, he wasn't pulled over for a reason. It's like, wait a second, I just gave you two. And the third one, I'm not sure, but I know there was another reason. That is supposition. And I can understand why people would challenge that. And guess what? Greg just did. And he's like, a seatbelt. That's right. You got it. That is how we should contribute on the show. You can say whatever the fuck you want. You contribute any way you want on this show. Disagree, agree, whatever. But guess what? Don't get mad at me when I push back. That's my point. It seems that it's not that people have a problem saying and telling me things. They have a problem about my reaction. And you know what? I'm done apologizing for it. I'm just not going to anymore. It's just the way it is. I'll talk fact. You talk fact. We'll get along fine. If you want to guess, you can guess. Just don't get upset when I call you out. Here is Washington, D.C. This is right off the South Richmond turn-on and the on-ramp. And man, I want you to see the line of cops that come through here. Watch this.
There's something you don't see every day. A broken down Honda.
Yeah. God, these spammers. Hold on, folks. Got her. So you're thinking, all right, so guess what? They're only pulling over Damani and his people, right?
Jeez. Yeah.
Is that right? They're just pulling over Damani, just black people, because that's what they do? Is that a fair assessment?
Who are they going after?
Well, what have I told you? See if you can tell me who this is. Come on.
Is that
Come
the
on.
Fox guy?
I don't know. What's Fox guy's name? What the Fox is his name?
Yeah. It's not Hannity. It's the other one.
It's Brett Baer.
Yes.
Metro.
God, okay.
Metro. Yeah, you are. He's Metro Police.
In a G-Wagon. Hot damn.
Metro
G-Wagon
Police
it.
gets Brett Baer of Fox News, pulls him over, and the last time I checked, he's not black. Folks, we're at 311.02. We missed Sunday's donations by almost $200. In fact, it was more than that, $220 some odd dollars. We missed last night's donation by over 100. And it's been a little bit of an interesting time. And I know people are like, hey, Matt, well, maybe you shouldn't have opened your mouth and said you had double donations. Yeah, I don't think people should be punished for being good and kind-hearted.
Damn.
And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be as nice as I could possibly be. And it went to a great cause. And that's not your fault. And it certainly is my responsibility. But you also have to remember, within 7 minutes, we had $2,700 literally drop and hit us. And I was trying to run a show. And it got ahead of us. I didn't see it. And I kept my word as a gentleman. And it's honestly, it's a pretty big dent into what we're trying to do here. So all I ask is that if we have an opportunity to help out the show, please do. We need it. And just hitting goal is, I think $300 for a show for 2.5, 3 hours. And the prep that we put into this is honestly a pretty modest wage. And it's I think we provide a pretty damn good service. So if you can help out and overdrive, we really need that help, especially with what happened on Friday. So thanks. We would really appreciate it. Next up is, by the way, folks, we're about ready to hit 300 people following since when we first started the show. We're really close. We're about 20 off. We're at 280 plus in the last 3 hours. Do you remember Anthony Weiner?
I do.
Anthony,
he was the congressman, right? Who got caught with sending out pictures of his junk to I don't know if she was underage. I'm trying to recall. I don't think she was, but nonetheless, it was a huge scandal, and that was about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, and then during the Hillary Clinton scandal, yeah, and then also had child porn on his computer. And had some things that were questionable. He's back. Now, they just tried to rehab his image. And unfortunately, Candace Owens must have been busy with Harvey Weinstein because she didn't have a chance to rehab Weiner. And maybe she'll be able to do that when Candace is done being sued by France. But here's Anthony Weiner.
I just had that image from Animal House when Ballbricker in the principal's office. Can you describe the penis?
Penis. That's right.
And the guy's like, we should put up wanted ads or wanted posters. We should do that and put his face on it.
All right. I'm willing to do anything. Just let me know. Elizabeth Hall says, what happened on Friday? Well, we had a good friend, Alan Donovan, on the show. He's suffering from a very rare type of cancer. And we raised, I said, you know how we do. It was like, hey, you know what? We're going to give you tonight's donations, and I'm going to match. And I thought it was going to be $500, and we had just saved $1,000 on a Facebook creator program, training program that's really been helping us do well. And we're like, you know what? Let's give back. And I looked over to Libby and I said, we saved that money tonight. Let's just do this. Let's double and pay his taxes. And we did. And I was like, hey, watch this. And we got hit. I'm like, okay, great. $100, $50. I'm like, okay, this is all going well. And someone did 500. I'm like, okay, well, we'll just give the full 1,000. We'll call it good. And then within 5-6 minutes, just we were over $3,000. So I had to match that. That's $6,000 in total plus the gross up, which is 40%. So that's another $2,400. So you're looking at $8,400. And that comes out of our savings, and that's okay. 3,000 of it was yours, 5,400 of it was ours, and we're not made of money and we're not rich people. So it took away a lot of our operating money. Yeah. So it's a big hit. I mean, I don't know many people that can write a check for $5,400 and be okay. We're definitely not one of them. So we just need some help. And we're hoping to get back to where we were. The problem is that so many people donated such big amounts it kind of is going to hurt us for the month. You know what I mean? So a little scary time for us. This is one of those times where we're kind of actually nervous. So I've never said those words. We're nervous right now. So, and I've tried to be as coy about it and aloof, but I can't do it anymore. We're in a spot where we've got to recoup some of those losses. And although it's for a great cause and it's awesome. It's hard to.
Matt also still has bills to pay.
Yeah. A lot of bills to pay. Okay, so here's Weiner. Let's watch the video. Sorry, you guys asked. I figured I'd tell you.
You could have phrased that a little bit differently.
Yeah, here's the Weiner.
It was for me to get charged with a crime and to do prison sentence for the things that I did.
You think that?
Well, no one
is that your claim?
No one generally gets prosecuted. No one in the Southern District's ever been sentenced for obscenity, for transferring obscene material. So I did learn that there was an element of prosecutorial discretion that I think everyone should be concerned about, that people being made examples of, and the idea of people being over-incarcerated. I learned I was a very privileged person to be in that system, but I experienced a lot of men in that system who were also charged with things they probably shouldn't have been for periods of time that they shouldn't have, and their inability to get a trial, a fair trial, because of the trial penalty in the federal system. So I learned a lot about that stuff that informs how I talk about this stuff today.
What was your experience being incarcerated like?
It was hard. I wouldn't recommend it.
How did you politic?
How hard? Did you have a hard wiener?
I formed relationships with a lot of different elements inside.
Yeah.
Like there were guys at the prison library, these more senior black guys, and I would kibitz with them about what's going on in Washington. I worked in the rec yard, and so, those guys I got a relationship with. I lived with the unit storeman. Some people.
What's the storeman?
The guy who has stuff that he sells. You can only go to the commissary every so often, but if someone wants to go watch a movie and they want to get a bag of chips, the storeman will take care of you. And I lived with that guy, and no one really fucks with the storeman. And so there were ways that I stayed safe.
Being on a registry, like
as a pedo,
if you kill someone, right? If I murder someone, I get out of jail, I don't have to tell my neighbors that I'm a murderer.
Correct.
What is it about this category of crime? Why is it treated differently?
I don't know.
Because you're a kid fucker and you're in a neighborhood where there are kids. If there were people who were susceptible to murder, there may be a database, and that is called every single person in the world is capable of committing murder. Kind of hard to run a murder database because usually it is either a crime of passion, or if you're a serial killer, you're not let out. Those don't necessarily need a database, but being a kid fucker, yes, you are a danger to society for the rest of your life. There is something wrong with your brain.
It puts you in a class of scum that most, even prisoners, find so distasteful that if it's found out, they are harassed, if not worse, in prison, which makes me wonder. He was talking about, things where he made friends with store shopkeepers and things like that. Makes me wonder what kind of favors were done, and if he owes anybody post his sentencing, post his jail time, if in some way, shape, or form he made some promises and now has to. Doesn't that make you just wonder? This guy took care of me, so I'm wondering if maybe I'm going to vote to do something for the prisoner system. I don't know.
You're telling me that this guy rolled over for a pack of cigarettes. Is that fair?
I don't know.
I bet he rolled over just for the sheer joy of it. I mean, I bet he was
his mouth does look bigger.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, who wants a mustache ride? I do.
Yeah.
So here's the rest of this fuckhead.
To the last, I mean, it's kind of weird. Obscenity is usually not considered one of these crimes, and so it's kind of weird, but I guess,
unless you found your
sex crimes have their own special thing in people's imagination because they take in such a broad range of different things.
Is it all sex crimes, or is it just involving minors?
No, it's all sex
It's
crimes.
all sex crimes.
All sex crimes.
Yeah. Do you know that this individual was underage at the time?
I didn't have a trial. And I'm reluctant to do anything that sounds like I'm not accepting responsibility for what I did. However, there are elements of this case that made it winnable for me. Let's just put it that way.
If it was winnable, why wouldn't you try to win?
Because they said to you, you can either accept this charge or we're going to charge you with something else that has a mandatory minimum. And so the risk is called the trial penalty in the federal system. So it's very risky, and that's why so few people go to trial, because you can plea bargain for 21 months and see your 6-year-old again in a couple of years, or take your chance going to a trial with the name Anthony Weiner and all that goes with that, and hope that you win the case and spend a lot of money, and then you could then get charged with, then you found guilty of a 10-year mandatory minimum because they charge you with something else. Not many people go to trial in the federal system, like 1 or 2%, because they have the ability.
All right,
so he negotiated.
Yeah, you pled it down. You're a douche. You're guilty as fuck, and you got immunity through your connections to Hillary Clinton, like everyone did. So, folks, we have 6 minutes, so we're gonna shove off on time tonight, and we really have to. So, for financial reasons, we can't keep pushing past the 2-hour mark. The good news is that Ryan Samuels is coming on at 9 o'clock. You can go over to the Ryan Samuels show, and he will connect you and give you some latest information. Leeroy and I are going to probably cover one more thing or two. So if you have not had a chance to donate, please do now.
Do you mind if I just throw a quick 1-minute story in there, because this came to my attention just as we were getting ready to go on air. Apparently, Tulsi Gabbard has revoked the security clearances for 37 former intelligence officials. And I'm just going to read this off of from Politico. The move comes as her office has placed escalating scrutiny on the Obama administration officials involved in a review of Russian election interference. The director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, revoked the security clearances of 37 former intelligence officials. The Trump administration's latest move against Obama-era officials, who the White House accuses of undermining the Trump administration. In a memo she posted Tuesday on social media, Tulsi Gabbard directed the heads of several national security agencies to immediately revoke the clearances of the officials at the direction of the president, alleging they politicized or weaponized intelligence for their own personal or partisan gain.
Give me the top 5
Good
names.
on her.
Give me the top 5 names.
Let me see.
This is the second time she's done this, and great. You know what?
Not seeing anything that's jumped in.
Yeah, but I want names, because that's who cares. I'm so disenfranchised with this, because Pam Bondi just sent 32 harshly worded letters to mayors and governors. Wow. That's sure going to get some work done. I'm really glad you're sending out those harshly worded letters to people with sanctuary cities. How about you do this? How about you cut their funding? How about you shut their funding down? How about you do that? How about you start building ICE locations inside their cities? Why don't we start playing hardball? I'll try to find it.
Well, I'm already kind of looking, and I'm not seeing any names.
Yeah, to me, that's just like, all right, here they are. I got them. So I'm going to share the list. Okay, Andrew Cedar, Andrew Miller, Benjamin Cooper, but nobody. This is all useless. It's just useless. Who cares? It's nobody. You know what I mean?
That might be at several 3-letter agencies. Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, if they're kind of rooting this out from at a specific level, I mean, just because we don't know who these people are doesn't mean that it's not a good thing.
Why don't you fire them? Why don't you put them in prison? If you have something that's okay, why do you lose this? Let's just do this. Why do you lose a security clearance?
Well, because if you abused your accesses, you've abused the privileges that comes with that, and you have somehow used it, to her point, for some level of political or personal gain.
Right. So is that illegal?
Yeah.
What's the penalty? At the very least, the minimum.
A lot of that's discretionary, but I know that on the more extreme end of things, it can come with not only fines but prison time.
Okay, so removing somebody's clearance, and these names are they're nobody. I'm just letting you know. There's nobody on here who's now. She's taken out some big ones. She got Brennan. She got Tapper. I mean, but you want to make an impact. My thoughts are, how about you arrest somebody? If it's good enough to strip their clearances, which doesn't take adjudication, there's you don't need any reason to strip somebody's clearance.
She's the DNI; she can do it.
That's right. So that's like writing a parking ticket. You can do it. But what effect does it really have? My point is that this doesn't take any lawfare. So fucking arrest somebody, throw someone in prison, put them in handcuffs, do a perp walk. Dude, you're going to have to talk me off. You're going to have to talk me off the cliff. You raided Donald Trump's personal residence. You embarrassed him in front of thousands of clients. You took his passport. You took his identification. You did not notify him you were going to be there. You showed up fully armed with weapons. You had the fucking the media there. You went into his son's bedroom. You went into his wife's dressing room. You were there 3 months ahead of time, which you and I already showed that they had all the list of everything that they were going to confiscate, told him it was okay to padlock it and keep it in a secure room, and then raided him anyway. They abused a NARA warrant, which he was still within the parameters of complying with that warrant and arguing with lawyers and NARA, which you're allowed to do. There was no open trial. There was no preliminary. It was a notice to cease and desist and to return the items. And he has every right to appeal and challenge that warrant. He was doing those things. He was complying. Mm-hmm. My thoughts are, can we just do 1/20th of that? Could we write somebody a parking ticket? Could we just make one arrest? Could we just get one kid fucker in a high profile position and get them arrested? Could we just
I understand your passion. I absolutely, and to your point, I think that somebody should be arrested. Yeah. But we have to be very careful, right? As well. Just because that they tried to hang Donald Trump out to dry, right, doesn't mean that we need to attack everything with the same pitchfork, let's go get him kind of attitude. And I'm not saying it's not warranted. Obviously,
no, but why not? Why? But I'm asking you, why not? For what? For moral superiority? Is it so we're godly and Christian? What is it that we must uphold? And I'm not asking. I'm asking the world.
I know.
I'm not coming down on you. Why? Why should we have the moral high ground anymore? Why don't we start fucking baptizing with napalm? Why are we like, what's the reason until our country's completely gone? If you don't send a message and root this shit out and send them that if you fuck with us, we're going to fuck with you. You bring a knife, we're going to bring a gun. That's the Chicago way.
Right.
We better send a message, and it better be brutal Colombian necktie type shit. And you better go, my opinion is you go higher than they did. You do it worse. You do more vile shit. You do worse, because then you're going to say, if you ever fucking do this again, imagine what we're going to do next time. Because honestly, dude, if we lose in 2026, you know what's going to happen. They're going to impeach him, and they're going to win this time. They're going to win, and they will convict him. And the Republicans are all a bunch of shills. They will flip skirt because they know that they want their candidate to win in 2028. And the only way that they could possibly do that is to get the middle. They want to see Trump bleed. I just, all right. You answer
I get
that,
it.
and then I'm going to shut up.
No. I agree with you, and all I'm saying is that it has to be a fine line that we don't underreact, which is what we've all been witnessing for the last 4, 5, 10 years.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
But
That's a good point.
But we also don't want to overreact, and as many times that every one of us here has wanted to see people in DC at that level, people like Anthony Weiner or Hillary Clinton or any of those people, absolutely get escorted out in handcuffs. As much as we want to see that, here's a case, and I'm going to make the argument for these people where they weren't necessarily arrested. We sit there and make the claim that there's these two tiers of justice within the United States, and that if somebody happens to be on the wrong side of the political fence, that they are basically hung out to dry. Well, these people just got fired, and I don't know who the hell they are. And I'm not saying that they're not going to go to jail in the future. They could be. This is the beginning of that process.
This is a prelude. This is a prelude
Right.
to an investigation. More than likely, you suspend their clearance.
Right.
But Leeroy, don't we think we should have the following? This person's clearance was suspended for breaking the Hatch Act. This person was actually
Yes.
going ahead and using secure emails.
I would like to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like to. We have to see that. We need to know what's going on. And these constant little just throwing chum in the water for us, it's pissing me off. It's drip, drip, drip. It's Hillary Clinton's fucking email. It's Russian server crap again. It's P-tapes. It's the Biden Burisma. It's what they were going to do with Hunter Biden. They dripped this in front of us for a year and a half, and all conservatives salivated over it. And I told them, it doesn't matter. Hunter Biden isn't the target. Winning the House, winning the Senate, winning the presidency, that's the fucking target. Keep your eye on the ball. And the problem is that most people don't have the capability not to get distracted. And I am so fearful, so incredibly fearful that we lose the House in 2026, because I warned of this. I told everyone in 2020 that the presidency didn't matter as much as the Senate, and look what they did. Look what happened. Look at the power that they had. Look how they weaponized the IRS. Look how they weaponized the NSA and the CIA. Look at the money that went overseas. Look at the $150 fucking billion invested in Ukraine. Look what they did with Iran. They funded their terrorist groups. The whole reason the Jews got hit is because of the United States. With the money we gave them to run their proxies. We had them dead. We had them starving. We had them on open revolt, and they literally infused Iran with cash. Who's going to be held accountable? I'll tell you who. Nobody. Nothing's gonna fucking happen. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm just done. So if I'm going to keep my focus on other things, and I'm not going to sit here and get excited that Tulsi Gabbard removed clearance. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I don't care. I want blood.
I guess that's the overreaction I would just warn against, right?
But why?
I understand the passion. I get
why?
it.
But see, do you know what I mean by blood?
I do.
I want warrants. I want warrants.
Okay.
I want FISA warrants. I want indictments. I want jail time. I want cuffs. I want mass probate. I want RICO cases. I want fucking ectoplasmic cum stains all over the wall. Little Christian Slater. I want
pump up the volume. Yeah.
I want justice, dude. I want the lady to swing her sword and put down the fucking scales. I'm sick of weighing. Are we being just? Are we being impartial? Pull out the sword and start reaping the fucking whipping rod, and let's get some justice. That's what I want. Is that an overreaction?
No, I don't think that's an overreaction at all. But we also don't necessarily, I mean, it is ultimately her discretion. And if worst case, somebody had, looked at a 3-letter agency's JWIC site for the purposes of political gain, there are bigger fish to fry. And at least these people are out of the system.
Great. That's really good. But you know what? Here, this will get you. You're going to love this. You ready?
Yeah.
Look me in the eye.
I am looking. Your mic monitor's right here.
I know, but don't pretend like. There we go. Just look at you. Look at each other. No more half measures. Leeroy.
No more half measures, Walter. Yeah.
No more half measures. No more. Because we can't afford it. You have to clean house. You've got to get the deep state out. You have got to get these people who perpetrated a coup against a sitting president out. And they need to be held accountable. And until you do, what is past is prologue. So no, I don't want vigilante justice. I don't want pitchforks. I don't want to rape the women and stampede the cattle. What I want is to leverage Lady Justice to do what she does. And she's a bitch. She's a bitch. And you have everyone in position to wield her sword. You own the FBI, you own the DOJ, you own the military. You can do whatever you want. Do it. Yes, clean up Washington. 500 kids being arrested. That's really good and joy. But how about you clean up the biggest crooks in D.C., which are in the Capitol fucking building?
Yep.
Let's get those people. Let's get the interns. Let's get the PACs. Let's get the people who are bribing government officials. I know a guy with a Glock and a Tech 9 is really a big deal, and that's great because we got to get the black people under control. That's wonderful. But can we get the fucking white people, blue collar, white collar crime, get those people under control? Because they're the ones who are destroying this country that we love so much. Last word, and then we're done.
No, I completely agree with all of that. I think that we just have to be, I guess, a little more careful with the pitchfork type speeches. If we're just talking about prosecuting people to the fullest extent of the law for abusing their security clearances and that level of privilege, then yeah, sign me up. Because I think there was far too much of it, and I was convinced that there were people with political motivations who already had too much clearance access. So yeah, I agree with you. But at least it's a start, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's like I don't want to burn down the government. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to draw pistols at high noon.
That's what you want.
No, but okay. One more thing. I'm sorry, I got to do it. You have got a clear indication. Letitia James did far worse than Donald Trump, and he was arrested for it. A former president was arrested. Why is she not in cuffs? Why not some New York AG? Why can't she be in cuffs? Yeah. You've got Nancy Pelosi, where if you look at the money that she has made, and you look at the investments that she has made, something like 91% of her valuations were net positive. That is light years above Warren Buffett. Light years of the biggest whales on the stock exchange. And all of these lines of delineation, all of these stocks, all coincide with intelligence briefings. Every single fucking one of them, dude. You know it, and I know it. Why is she not arrested? Why is she not in prison? Why was Obama's cook, how did he die in 3 feet of water, in a kayak, in a non-riptide environment, taking swim lessons? Obama was home. Where's the question? Where's the interview of Obama? If somebody dies in your house and the coroner comes, a detective, homicide detective immediately shows in every single case. Usually it's a low-level investigator that comes in, somebody involved with CID or somebody who's involved with the local department.
Right.
Maybe some rookie fucking, sergeant, whatever it is, reports on the scene. And then why? Where's the interview from that? Where's the investigation from that? Now, this is all speculative, right? These are all things that you're kind of like, there's not a lot of evidence. But the problem is that we're sitting here and we're going, the presumption of innocence is only for one group of people. So I'm all about it, Leeroy. If you want to presume Pelosi's innocent, if you want to presume Obama's innocent, if you want to presume that Letitia James is innocent, yes, good, great, awesome. I love it. I'm excited for it. It's part of the Constitution of the United States. It's part of our Bill of Rights. But if you're not going to afford the same fucking rights to our side, then I say rip it apart.
Well, that's
damn the torpedoes.
Political warfare. Yes. That's the lawfare that has literally been going on where, they look to prosecute for anything, and they start inventing crimes in order to justify that position.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a good conversation, and I love you for having it with me. And no, I'm not mad at you. I know what you're saying. I'll go to bed tonight, and I'll wake up, and I'll feel better, and I'll talk about reason, and I'll be like, okay, you know what? I was wrong. By the way, 246,011 followers. We're going to get very close to breaking 250,000, I believe, with this push. And God, it's great to see us move the needle again. That's good news. If we continue to move forward, thank God, we certainly need it. I want to say thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Tomorrow night, it's myself and Olivia. We will, nope, it's solo show tomorrow. Ugh, I hate solo shows now. It's like pulling teeth. But we'll have a good night. Anything else, Leeroy?
No, I mean, I think we covered everything. We covered everything from the truck driver in Florida. We covered Anthony Weiner. We covered a lot, and it was a good show. I liked it. It was fun.
It was a good show. I like being on with you, man. And it's good to have some controversy. All right, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7:00. Please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Stop on by the Facebook page, not Dumb News. I don't need you to like on Dumb News, like on at the Dumb Show, and just go down and hit likes on stuff. Please help us out.
Yeah.
On your way out of here, hit likes on this show. Help us out. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Leeroy, I love you, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Love you guys.
All right. Peace
out, homies.
Bye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leeroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.